Hi, my name is Rust. I'm a Soulsborne content creator with an emphasis on PvP. Landing insane combos that burst down an opponent from full health to zero in a matter of seconds can be super satisfying. But much like a 90s goth kid, this mechanic is often chronically misunderstood. As an example, let's take a look at this clip. Notice anything? What if we compare it to this one? Weird, right? So, in this video, I'll be covering all the mechanics involved in combos to help you get a better understanding of how you can land them and how you can escape them. This video is going to cover everything from true and pseudo combos, Hitstun Degradation, damage count storage, combo escapes, status effects, instability frames, headshots, Pseudo Infinites, and a showcase where I'll be demonstrating the concepts covered in the video. If you enjoy the video, be sure to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you found the information helpful at all, or if you're just more confused than ever. Starting off simple, we need to define the difference between a true and pseudo combo. A true combo occurs when two hits land within the same instance of hitstun. If the player is unable to roll between the two instances of damage, then it's defined as a true combo. A pseudo combo is basically just a roll catch, where the first instance of damage sets the opponent in hitstun, and the next attack is designed to roll catch the player that panic rolls out of the first instance of damage. If the opposing player times their roll well or has high enough latency, then they can avoid the pseudo combo, but no amount of latency can save a person from a true combo. In order for a true combo to occur, the hit stun has to be long enough that another hit can land within the same window of time that the player is stunned. But different weapons deal different levels of hit stun. There are 4 levels of hit stun. A level 8 hit stun has about the same frame data as a level 1 hit stun, and these occur from the R1s of small weapon classes like fists and thrusting swords. A level 1 hit stun is dealt from other small weapons like straight swords, heavy thrusting swords, and katanas. Level 2 hit stun has a much longer stun duration and is dealt from weapons like greatswords, scythes, and whips. And then finally, a level 3 hit stun is dealt by colossal weapons. But this is where things start to get really interesting. In order to avoid having players get stuck in an infinite loop of being staggered, there's a system in place which causes consecutive staggers within the same instance of hit stun to have a reduced stun type. This is known as damage count. Your damage count always starts at 0. If you receive a poise breaking hit, then the damage count is added to 1 for the duration of the hit stun. The damage count can go up to 4, and the time that you're stuck in hit stun is reduced for increasing amounts at each stage, dependent on the type of weapon that caused the initial stun. By the time that you reach a damage count 4, you're free to roll on frame 0, letting you escape immediately. But not every attack adds to the damage count. Some attacks have multiple hits, such as Sword Dance or Spinning Slash, that don't add to the damage count on their first hits of the attack chain. On attacks like this, only the last hit adds to the damage count. The Knight's Greatsword is a good example of how damage count works. The KGS has a true combo from JR1 to R12, and it also true combos from R12 to R13. However, it does not combo from JR1 to R12 to R13, because the damage count goes up to 2, allowing them to escape 15 frames earlier than normal. But the damage count can be reset if the player tries to attack while in hit stun, or anytime after they exit hit stun. So where a 3-hit combo from a Knight's Greatsword normally doesn't exist, if a player tries to R1 out of the first part of the combo, then their damage count is reset, and the 3-hit combo will be successful. This is conditional on your opponent mashing out a hit stun and isn't reliable. The damage count is only added in the event of a poise-breaking attack, so if you're hit by something like a dagger and you have enough poise to tank the hit, then the attack won't add to the damage count. This is why you can combo something like Bloodflame Talon into 2 hits from a dagger if the first dagger hit doesn't poise break. But as an interesting point, the damage count can be stored if the player immediately enters a backstab animation out of hit stun. By going straight into a backstab or backstab whiff, the damage count from the initial stun is stored, and this can stack multiple times. Once you've reached a damage count level 4, then you can freely escape even a Colossal Sword on frame 0. There currently isn't a reliable way to store your hit stun, but feel free to add this to your library of utterly useless information that I provide on this channel. There's various ways that you can prevent yourself from getting stun locked to death by long attack chains and true combos. The easiest is understanding poise breaks. If we look at something like Raptor Talons, the running R2 has 3 hits in the attack. The first 2 hits only do a level 8 stun, and the last hit does a level 2 stun. If you don't have enough poise to tank all of the hits, then the running R2 will true combo into another R2. But if you have over 73 poise, enough poise to tank the final hit, then you can roll out to escape the true combo. Another example of where this applies is in Morgoth's curved sword Ash of War. The Ash of War deals 126 poise damage from the weapon and 100 poise damage from the blood flame explosion that occurs simultaneously. If you have over 100 poise, then the full Ash of War will combo if it lands, but if you have less than 100 poise, then you can escape the follow-up. The way that this works is that by having just under 100 poise, you'll be poise broken by the initial hit of the sword and the projectile, giving you Hitstun Degradation, allowing you to escape. Now, there's a category of Ash of War called Fast Ashes, and these use a separate cancel window from other Ashes of War. This includes things like Bloodhound Step, Quick Step, and Raptors of the Mist. The Fast Ash cancel window precedes that of the dodge roll from Hitstun. So, if a specific combo that you're trying to set up has a really tight window, then your opponent can avoid the true combo with a click of a button. So in fighting someone that you know is using one of these types of Ash of War, it's not worth trying to go for your true combos on them, as they're liable to escape it. However, these Fast Ash cancels don't receive the benefits of damage count. So if you're getting true comboed between multiple people, and then trying to use a Fast Ash cancel to escape, it isn't going to work. You'll have to rely on good old-fashioned dodge rolls. Status effects have various effects on damage count, depending on how they're inflicted. Bleed and Frost are a little weird. If a player is staggered by a Bleed or Frost proc while in iframes, or through some other means such as Blood Flame Effect or Chilling Mist, then they receive a level 1 stun. Otherwise, if the Bleed proc happens on a direct hit from the weapon, then the player receives the same level of hit stun as the weapon being used. But Bleed and Frost don't inherently add to the damage count, so if you're using a power stance setup and the player rolls the first part of the power stance attack, but gets staggered by the Bleed into a hit from the second weapon, then they'll still receive the full hit stun of the second weapon. Sleep and Madness work to the opposite effect. When someone is afflicted with Sleep or Madness, their damage count is set to 0, and they're put in a state called Instability. Instability increases the level of hit stun by 1, allowing something like a Starfist R2 to true combo into another Starfist R2. Instability is given in a few specific instances, such as when the player is either guard broken or afflicted with Sleep or Madness. The only thing that won't combo when a player is afflicted with instability frames are things that normally do a level 3 hit stun. Under instability frames, anything that normally does a level 3 stun will instead knock the player to the ground. Headshots give a player a unique stagger animation that can be taken advantage of, giving you access to free follow-up attacks after you land the headshot for insane combos. These combos can be really difficult to land because they have a few requirements to them. With anything like a katana running R2, a greatsword crouch R1, or a chop halberd R1, you can throw a dagger to land a headshot. The timing and positioning are precise. When you land the initial hit, you have to be close enough that the very first frame that the projectile spawns, your hand needs to be inside the opponent's head. If they're too far away, then the dagger will hit them in the chest or go right over their head. The other requirement is that you have to make sure you don't accidentally land a true combo from the throwing dagger, causing Hitstun Degradation on the dagger. But if you delay by a frame, then the dagger won't true combo. Headshots are unique in that they will cause stagger even if the opponent is in iframes. So you want to delay your dagger just enough so that it doesn't true combo, but their head stays right where you need it. After landing the headshot, then you can do a follow-up attack of anything from an R2 with a greatsword or something as brutal as an unsheathed R2. Wazeus is a friend of mine and a content creator here on YouTube, and he's done tons of videos showcasing different headshot combos that you can try for yourself. So I really recommend going over and checking out his channel if you want to look further into this. Now in terms of infinites, there's technically none that exist in Elden Ring. There's always a way to escape it, but a few notable mentions are almost infinites. With Carrion Regal Scepter, the spinning weapon does a unique animation that extends pretty far in front of yourself and allows the player to walk forward. If you trap a player in this and continue to press the funny L2 button, then unless they're light rolling, have access to hyper armor, or have a really latent connection that gives them overlapping iframes on their rolls, then you can easily take down a person from full health down to 0 with just this Ash of War. Not only that, if you want to be a little less cringe but still a toxic piece of shit, then you can true combo into Carrion Slicer or roll catch with a variety of options, my favorite being Comet, which roll catches if they panic roll to try and escape the infinite. Another pseudo combo is something that I found from gigasthiccas, someone whose entire channel is dedicated to testing different combos. He shows off how a Qatar R2 can combo into a sleep proc from an offhand pulley crossbow sleep bolts. I couldn't get this to work when I was testing it, but it's something that you can check out over on his channel. This Pseudo Infinite fails if the opponent jumps the sleep proc, or if they just have enough focus to avoid getting slept. There's hundreds of different true and pseudo combos in the game, and I really couldn't do it justice by trying to cover all of them in one video. But with each dedicated weapon showcase that I've done, I've always included all of the relevant combos that you can perform with these weapons, so feel free to check out those videos if you're looking for something with those weapons in particular. From this point on will be a showcase where I demonstrate the concepts covered in the video. I've used a wide range of weapons in these clips with a number of different true and pseudo combos to show off. Be sure to like and subscribe, and let's get into the fights. The first weapon I'll be showcasing is the Moonlight Greatsword. The fight starts out by outspacing the running attack, landing a crouch R1, followed by a headshot, giving us another R1, but we missed the R2 roll catch. I get out to get my stamina back, and find a jump attack, followed up into a crouch attack, comboing into a headshot and backswing to finish the fight. My next opponent is using the Knight's Greatsword. Opposing Hyper Armor is a pain in the ass to fight against with this weapon, since it's just as slow and they can tank all of your hits and you can't tank theirs. So we simply have to outplay. We outspace the Ash of War. Moonlight Greatsword has a unique true combo in its one-handed moveset between the second and third R1s. So after missing the headshot, they roll in, giving me the roll catch into a true combo. I crouch cancel the recovery, and they roll in, giving me a totally intentional and not accidental at all backstab that was definitely planned. In this next fight, I change it up to two-handed for the Hyper Armor. I land a punish on their jump attack before getting the fuck out of there. They go to punish the Ballast, but I'm able to force a trade, swap over to the funny L2 stick, and spin to win. For these fights, I'll be using Knight's Greatsword. This weapon has a bunch of true combos in both its one- and two-handed movesets, and it synergizes really well with a number of Ashes of War. The fight starts out as I land a JR1, but I'm not in range of the combo, so I go for another one, still out of range, but on the next one I land the combo. Since they mash out a hit stun, I could have gone for the triple, but we end the fight either way. The next fight is a bit more engaging, and we start off by outspacing the running R2, roll catching it with a backswing into a true combo, followed up into Piercing Fang for the pseudo combo. I get a bit of stamina back and roll their hit, ending the fight with a crouch R1. The next weapon I'll show off is Raptor Talons. After baiting the backswing whiff, I close in on my opponent and go for a fully charged R2, which roll catches and true combos into the backswing. I back off to avoid the crouch poke, landing another roll catch on the R2, but I'm not in range of the backswing, so I back off. I then remember that I don't have to play well, and I can just crutch on my OP Ash of War and get a true combo from Storm Stomp into R2 to finish the fight. Most weapons that have a level 1 stun on their R1s don't have any true combos in their movesets, but Shamshir does an excellent job at getting pseudo combos. With Sword Dance, Shamshir is an absolute terror, getting a very consistent pseudo off of its R2s. My opponent decides to eat the first Sword Dance, and then the second, but they manage to dodge the third. They go for one of their own, which we outspace and punish to finish the fight. Halberd has a lot of synergy with various offhand weapons, but one that it works best with is Offhand Dagger. The dagger provides a reliable true combo on the standing attacks of the halberd, which pseudo combos into a roll catch if they panic roll the dagger. I get a hit on the Ash of War, but they hyper armor through it. More than anything, I'm just looking for a clean opening where I can get in between the hyper armor frames, but it's a pain in the fucking ass. But I get some chip with the bird, outspace the R1, which they hyper armor through as well. They go for a follow up on the Ash of War, which I outspace into a true combo from the halberd into dagger. The next fight starts out as I avoid the Colossal Sword, grab a roll catch, and then try for a hit with the dagger. They go for an R2, which I roll badly but manage to avoid anyway. They roll my running attack, but I'm able to get chip with the dagger before avoiding the hit. I dodge the Frost proc and start looking for a safe opening. I get the standing attack off on the running R2, but I'm out of range of the combo, So I roll their hit, take my own, and finding little success, they swap over to HTS. I strafe the running R2, true combo into the dagger, but they roll the halberd follow-up, and at this point they kind of give up, and I can't really even blame them. I was playing super safe because honestly, I'm just not that comfortable with halberd. But for the last fights, we have a little bit more fun. Sleep builds are fucking disgusting, but Vari's Bouquet is just bad enough that it's funny. So, after avoiding my opponent's attempts to rush me, I go in swinging, crutching hard on the hyper armor from the flowers to get 4 hits as quickly as possible. After the sleep procs, I swap over to Reduvia, set up the Bloodflame Talon, and get 2 hits with the dagger, finishing the fight as the Bloodflame effect procs their bleed as they roll away. You can do all kinds of cool sleep setups, my favorite just being the simple hard swap to Rivers of Blood. It's not good, but it's a meme. Since sleep increases the level of hit stun of whatever you hit them with, you can combo pretty much anything if you're fast enough. But have fun with it, be creative. As I said before, there's all kinds of crazy combos that you can do in this game, and hopefully you can implement the concepts you learned from this video to help you find new things that will come up in the DLC. I'm curious to hear what you come up with, so feel free to let me know what you find in the comments, but that's going to do it for this video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.